So now we've done the grinder a little bit to get our big idea. And what you're going to do is fill in section A right here at the bottom, the root system. What is my big idea? And Taras, you could, or anybody else, briefly jot down in just a brief descriptor, what is that key message? What do you want them to know? Building on that, we're now going to do another writing exercise for step 2 of the tree grid. Now in section B, the idea is, what is my supporting content? Any examples, case studies, prior experience with this model, right? Of working with other groups. This could be data points. What supporting pieces of content do you have that you have experienced that brings your message to life, that says, yes, this is true? Think of the branches balancing out the tree. So brief descriptors. It could be a project you worked on. It could be something you read in the trades. It could be another project another team is working on, but it all relates to your big idea. So for 1 minute, write down all your supporting content and ideas. I'm going to put you on the clock right now. So that minute time is up, and now I'm going to give you a minute. Again, I'm restricting the time because if we write these brief descriptors, we're not writing a whole speech. We're just writing ideas. This is how you're going to save time. This is why it's so valuable. So now I want you to take, for every piece of content, every fact, every story, every example or case study that you have in column B, I want you to write in column C why you're sharing this. What's the valuable point to this? Why is it valuable that this project we worked on and helped children, learn to read is valuable on the bigger issue, your big idea? And again, brief descriptors. I'm helping move the team forward. We're increasing sales by 15%. We're expanding our reach to more communities by 30%, whatever that is. Everybody ready? 1 minute, do some writing. Why is this valuable? Okay, so pens down, as they say. So now you notice you have the tree grid is starting to fill up with different ideas. Taurus, I'd love for you to take, since we're working on your speech today, I'm going to take in 1 minute's time, I'm going to ask you to pick one of those pieces of content, just one, and start with, for example. And in the minute's time, I want you to tell me, for example, here's what we have, and then I want you to end with the valuable takeaway is. Again, why you're sharing this. You ready?
Yeah.
Very good. Here we go.
You already know my model, but for example, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So the example of the services that we have in the Collaba use spaces are creativity and design in workshops with young people. We have mental health and emotional well-being sessions. We have civic engagement and youth-led projects created by young people in the under the facilitation of facilitators in Collaba spaces. And also we have career management and entrepreneurship skills lessons. All of these support young people to find their purpose, to connect and to help them to create their own projects that could support their their peers and their communities in such bad times.
Excellent. So now, in 30 seconds, I want you to pick one example. Is it the civic engagement? Is the career management? Pick one thing. For example, career management, and then the
Okay.
reason I'm sharing this with because let's see what that looks like. Grinding down.
Yeah, so one of the examples is the developing of user-led projects. One of them was, for example, created in Hromada to support young people and create together with them valuable project on city lighting. So the city will become really safe and support other people to live there safely.
Excellent, excellent. So notice how we grinded the message down. We got even more specific. So there's when you
Yeah.
really get to one specific moment, the clarity in that statement also presents us with an idea of what that looks like. We're living that. We can connect not with a list of things. Here's one specific thing. Now your tree grid has a lot of examples, so you can keep bringing that back to your big idea. But if you list out things, we risk getting lost in the weeds. We risk overwhelming people and not being very clear. So what again the grinder, Shelley Grinder is doing is taking you down to very specific moments. I will show you how we can elaborate a little bit more on that, but for now, again, the more crystal clear you are about each specific moment, not only will you
Mm-hmm.
remember it, but you'll be able to speak about it freely and openly because you're reliving a moment. You don't have to write the script. Taurus
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Mm-hmm.
write any of this out. There's no lengthy drafts, right? We're saving time. All you need is a bullet point, right?
Yeah.
So let's drill it one more time or go to, you have this idea, you now know your specific example here in B and you know why it's important. So now we're going to go to section D. What is it you want your audience to do about your big idea overall? And that might be, I'm inviting you to participate in this demo we have. Our team had success with, therefore we know the growth is going to be X, Y, and Z, or this is why I'm suggesting. So let's see what we can do with a minute's time again. And the minute gives you time to explore and expand and find different ways to say things. So starting Taurus with this statement, this is what I'm suggesting we do, or as a result of whatever it is that you're giving this speech today, and see what that looks like in 1 minute's time. Are you ready?
One more clarification. So
Sure.
this section is like 1 minute. I need to tell what is the call to action?
Yes. What do you want the audience to do as a result of this whole presentation, this whole talk? What is the end result? What are you looking for?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Here we go. And you could start with, this is what I'm suggesting. As a
Okay.
result, this is what I'd like you to do. Our team had success with, therefore, we're going to do this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Yeah. So there, so the model of this collaba is actually building on the principles of sustainability. We want to the communities to really engage, to be engaged, and to support these spaces. And we are looking for the support from private sector and from other donors to maintain these spaces on the same great level that we already launched. So it will benefit to more young people and adolescents in the communities. And for you to understand what are the results of this. So per each community, we've impacted over 2,000 children, and we've created a lot of at least 5 user-led projects per each community.
Okay. So you have your big idea. You're
Yeah.
building, doing the grinder for all these different supporting content. How many pieces of supporting content do you have roughly that you wrote down in that minute before?
Oh yeah, like 5.
Great.
One of
So
them
we
was
know we
results.
have examples. You have about 5 examples. And again, you can build on this, but notice how quickly in a few minutes, we're structuring an entire speech. But let's hone in 30 seconds. You only want them to do one thing. Do you want them to give you money? Do you want them to sign up? Do you want them to volunteer? Get right to it. Let's see what that looks like. Again, this is clarity for you. Here we go.
I want you to look at this model and to support this and to fund this idea, or help me to find the connection with the private sector, as this is very beneficial to the young people and the adolescents in their smaller communities. So it's hard to find the private sector in them. So I want you to join me and to support them as a whole.
So how did that feel for you?
A little bit more specific and like
Yes,
to the point.
yes, yes. And everybody, a thumbs up, unmute, yes, no. Do we totally understand or have a better idea of what Taurus wants us to do? Mark shaking his head, yes. Tomo's
for
is thumbs
sure.
up. Yeah,
I would say like even like the private sector, I felt it even more. Like, like you call to direct, and I would be like, if I was part of the private sector, I would be like, yeah, so you talking to me. So yeah.
right. So what we've established today with the tree grid, you got your big idea. Right now, Taurus has 5 different supporting pieces of content, specific examples, probably even more when you think about it. And then the call to action. The clarity of that brings the speech into view. But right now, you have all the elements, or a lot of elements, of your speech on one chart, the tree grid, at a glance. Now, this is time well spent versus writing and drafting and what am I going to say and where am I going to go? You can always add to this. You could always take away from this, but this is a starting point. And again, it took us minutes to figure this out. So the next step is with this general idea, and again, this could work for a 10-minute pitch or one slide presentation you have to make, but again, it's the clarity of your message. Great news, the conversation continues. When you subscribe, like, and ring the bell, you'll know when a new episode has released. As always, speak remarkably.